Hey guys, how's it going? It's your girl Anita Rivers of Classic Royalty Designs, and today's video is going to be a lot of fun. This video has been highly requested on my sewing group, and today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to hand bead. And yes, I know I look crazy. I have no makeup on, I have no dress up clothes. I am off today, so this is going to be a chill day. So I'm going to teach you guys how to hand bead with my house clothes on. For this project, you guys will need a few materials. You guys will need matching thread, a pencil, scissors, and of course you guys will need either a trim to cut off the stones, or you guys can actually just buy the stones that come in the bag already. Also for this project, you guys will need muslin. So if you guys are practicing learning how to hand bead, the best thing for you guys to practice on is just the muslin, so that you guys can actually see your stitches and so that you guys can actually see the stones. So for today's video, I'm going to show you guys this different tricks on how to sew these stones. I'm going to show you guys what the stones look like, because there are many different stones. Some are flat, some are sequins, some are round, some are oval, some are longer, some are shorter, and you sew them all differently. So I'm going to try my best to show you guys how to hand sew each and every single bead. Let's get started, guys. Also for this video, you guys will need a size 10 or a size 9 needle. Now with these needles, these are so small that the beads will have no issue going over. So again, for this project, you guys will need a size 9 or a size 10 needle. Okay guys, so the first thing you guys are going to do is you guys are going to get your trim and place it over your muslin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove mostly all of the stones that are on this beaded lace trim. And if you have one of these scissors, it will definitely help you a lot to catch all of the stones. So as you guys can see, I'm just taking my scissors and I'm just removing the stones, clipping the stones off. Now on here, there's pearls, there's square stones, there's a lot of different stones. So when you guys are hand beading, you guys need to know how to sew each individual bead. The reason why I'm showing you guys how to sew these items or how to sew these stones on a muslin is because I want you guys to get familiar on how they look. Normally when you sew these stones on a lace or anything, you get confused and you can't see the actual stone. So the best thing for you guys to do is just to learn on a muslin first, and then once you guys get advanced with the beads, you guys can start to learn how to sew the beads on an actual lace fabric. Okay, as you guys can see, it's a bit of a mess here, but I cut off some of the stones from this side, and these are actually some of the stones here. So the best thing for you guys is to do is just to separate your stones and to move them to the side, and then I'm going to show you guys how to sew each of the stones. They're different sizes, they're different shapes, and now I'm going to show you guys how to sew them. This stone in my hand is kind of like a diamond, so it is very round, it is very big, and when it comes to working with this in particular stone, you guys have to double up your thread. Now when it comes to this stone in particular, this stone I call it a flatty because the base is flat and it has a small hole in the center and it's easy to grab on. Now if you guys can see the stone on my finger, it is very tiny, and with these stones you lose it very easily because they're very small. Like you guys can barely see it, but it's the stone right there on my finger. And these stones are normally used when it comes to flatties, or they can be put together when it comes to making multiple lines with these stones. Okay guys, now we're going to take our stones and move everything to the side. Now that I have here, I have a basic muslin, and if you guys can see, there are a couple of lines on here. There's one going this way and there's a few going this way. Now if you guys would like to learn how to do shapes and triangles with these stones, the best thing for you to do is just create your own pattern on muslin and just to play around with it. But for right now, I'm going to show you the basics. I'm going to show you guys how to just take your stones, how to place it on the needle, and how to actually sew going across this line here, if you guys can see it. I'm gonna take my thread and I'm gonna cut off the tip so that the tip can be very sharp, so I won't have any issues when I'm trying to put the thread in my needle. Putting your thread in your needle should not take you that long. And as you guys can see, my needle is in the thread. You guys can see that. It didn't take too long. And you guys will have to double your thread. And it should look just like this. When it comes to stones, you guys don't have to double your thread. But if you want your beads to be sturdy and not come off or anything, the best thing for you guys to do is just to double your thread. And it should look exactly like this. Doubling your thread means it should be 2 threads like this, and you pull them together. And again, guys, this is what your thread should look like. It is doubled and it is sturdy and it won't break. Now, the first thing we're gonna do, I know you guys can see this line right here. The first thing we're gonna do, you guys, I want you guys to start in the middle. So you guys are gonna put your needle through and make a knot. So you're gonna start on your line and you guys are gonna pull through. And I want you to make a knot. Just like that. You guys are just making a knot just so that your thread is sturdy and so that you can actually start grabbing some of your stones. Now I'm gonna start you guys off with this stone. As you guys can see, it is very small, and what you guys are gonna do on this stone, there are 4 holes. You guys can't really see it, but on the stone there are 4 holes, and what you guys are gonna do, you guys are gonna just take your needle and place it through 1 hole. This is how your needle should be holding the stone. Once you have that, you'll take your stone and you'll put it through just like this, and you continue to push your stone until it hits your muslin. And you will continue to follow this pencil line, and you guys will take your needle and go underneath the muslin, and you guys will continue to pull through. And your stone will sit in the muslin just like that. And you will continue this process all the way across, or as long as you want to. And this, guys, is what your stone should look like on muslin. Okay guys, now that we have our 1 stone, I'm now gonna grab another one, another size, another shape. So here I have a nice square stone. It's very round, it's very big. So you guys are gonna take your needle, place it inside the stone. It should look exactly like that. And you guys are gonna push the stone all the way down until it hits your muslin and until it's flat, just like that. Then you guys are gonna go underneath the muslin and your needle shall pop right back up on that line. Then you guys are gonna pull through. It's just like weaving under and over, but instead of going under and over with nothing, your stone has to be on the thread. And you keep pulling, and as you guys can see, once you guys pull, your stone will lay flat, just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to sew a flatty. I call this the flatty because it's very flat, and of course when you turn it over, it's flat, and you can see that it's silver. So your thread will actually go through this small hole here. So if you guys want to know a trick, you will take your finger, you can lick your finger, and it will definitely pick up, well, it's supposed to pick up, it will pick up the stone. You'll take your needle, and your stone should go through that one hole, and again guys, it should look exactly like this, and you just push it down until it goes onto your fabric or onto your muslin. Okay guys, now that we have our stone, our flat stone, the next thing we're going to do is to grab one of the smaller stones. It's the smallest stone, and this is what the stone looks like. If you guys can see, that is what the stone looks like. It's very hard to see on my finger, but it is very small. So I'm going to take this stone and again place it on my needle and make sure it goes all the way down until it hits my flatty. Now with this in particular flatty method, you're going to take your needle and only put the needle into the flatty, not in the small stone. And you guys are going to go in, and you guys are going to go under the muslin. And it should look just like that. Then you guys are going to pull your needle through. Keep pulling, keep pulling. And you should end up with a stone that looks exactly like this. When it comes to actual hand beading, it is very, very easy. Basically, your method is going under and over, under and over. You know how you sew a regular seam with your thread under and over, under and over? But when you bring your thread out, you just are gonna grab a stone. It may happen to be like this, you know, nice and big. Take your needle, put your needle through the holes that are on the needle. Put your needle through the bead. Again, you should end up with something that looks almost like this. Ooh. Again, once you have your needle and your bead, it should look exactly like this. And once you have this done, you will push the bead all the way down, just like I am, until it gets to your fabric. And you use the same method under and over. So right now we're gonna go under. You're gonna go under the muslin and over. And once you have it just like this, you're gonna pull. I'm gonna use my scissors so you guys can see. You guys are gonna pull your needle through. And you guys are gonna keep pulling until the bead is flat on your muslin. And it will sit on the muslin for you. And it should look exactly like that, guys. And I'm going to show you guys the other side so you can see how the thread looks. So this is the wrong side, guys. As you can see, it's just like regular sewing. And you turn it over, and this is how my bead is. There's the first one we did, the second one, there's the flatty with the small bead on top of it, and this is the big one. Hand beading is very easy. It's not meant to be hard. The process is tying a knot and tying a knot. Getting your needle, putting it through a bead just like this, and then you're going to push the needle through, push your bead down, and then take your needle, go under your fabric, poke your needle through the fabric, and then you guys are going to pull. It is very simple. It is not as hard. And the clear one is the one that I just did right now. It is very simple and it shouldn't be hard. Now, if you guys are wondering how to do any designs, it is very simple. You guys just have to have an idea of what you guys want to do. So I'm gonna take a flatty, which is the flat one, I'm gonna take a small stone, which is this one. I'm gonna put them on the same needle, so it kind of reminds you of like a cake. If you guys can see, there's the flat one and then there's the small one. I'm gonna push them down together, and I'm gonna take my needle and only put the needle into the flatty. Go under the muslin and pull through. Next, again, I'm gonna take another flatty. Of course, it's a flat back. Put that on my needle. I'm gonna get a smaller stone, which is the smallest stone that I told you guys about. Put it on my needle. Bringing it back down, taking my needle and only putting it in the flatty, and pulling my needle through. And that is basically how you repeat the same pattern. Making a pattern is just repeating the same technique over and over again. As you guys can see with these two, I can do these two all the way down this line, and that's really it. When it comes to when it comes to actually beading, you guys have to know your beads. Every bead is different. Every bead looks kind of the same, but they're all different. And as you guys can see, all of these stones are different. You guys, first I would say you guys need to learn your beads before you guys start beading. You guys need to know the difference in all of these beads. As you guys can see, some are bigger, some are clear and square, some are smaller. Like for this one and this one are the same stone, just that this one is a little bit bigger. These two, between this one and this one, they're the same. Between this clear one, and this clear one, and this one, they're all similar, but some may be round and some may be flatter. You guys need to learn your stones first. Once you guys learn your stones, then you can start beading. Beading is very simple. And again, guys, this is what I just showed you. It is very simple. You guys will go, like I said, under the fabric and pull your needle through. You guys are gonna grab a stone, put the stone on the needle, and go right underneath. It's just like a wave. You go under and over, under and over. And that's basically how you guys sew your beads. I'm gonna show you another one right here in the center. So to show you guys, I'm gonna take my needle and go under so I can start, so you guys can see what I'm gonna do next. Just so you guys can see, I'm gonna take this big stone. I'm gonna take this big stone and place it right in that empty area right here. So I have my stone. I'm gonna take my needle, and my needle is gonna go inside of the stone. Just like that, guys. Can you see? Just like that. I'm gonna take my bead and place it right there on my fabric. Next, I'm gonna take my needle and I'm gonna go under the muslin, and I'm gonna bring it back up on the muslin, and I'm going to pull all the way through. Now, if you're having issues pulling the thread through, it may not be you, it may be your thread, but then you guys are going to continue to pull it all the way through. And as you guys can see, this is the one that I just did, and that's all. Beading is very simple. It shouldn't be hard. All you guys are going to do is get your needle, get your bead, go under and pull it through, and your beads should stay on your muslin. Now, normally after you guys finish sewing a bead, you guys will knot it as well. So after you guys sew, you guys will go underneath and do a knot. again, you guys will go underneath and do a knot. And that is basically it. Beading is very simple, it's very easy. Again, you guys need to learn your stones. You guys can easily buy a nice trim and experiment with the stones. Just take all the stones off. And again, if you guys want to learn shapes and patterns, just draw yourself a nice pattern on muslin, follow the lines, and get creative. But first, you guys need to learn your beads. And again, guys, thank you for watching this video on how to hand sew beads. It is very easy, it is very simple. Please don't get discouraged. Like I said, just remember the under and over method like a wave. It's very simple. You guys are gonna tie a knot, tie another knot. Get your needle, get a bead, put the bead on the needle, push the needle down until you get to the fabric. Take your needle, put it in the fabric, go under, and just pull it through. Remember this method. Whenever you guys are hand sewing, just remember the wave method. And that will keep you going, it will keep you motivated. And like I said, practice. You guys won't know how to hand sew unless you guys practice. You guys need to get familiar with your needles. You need a 9 and 10 needle. You guys need to get familiar with all the different kind of stones. Like I showed you guys in the video. These are all different. You guys need to get familiar with the stones, guys. They are all different and you all sew them a different way. And again, if you guys don't have an area that sells beads, buy yourself a beaded trim like this and just cut off all the trims and start practicing. If you guys want to try how to hand bead and you guys are actually doing this project and you guys want to show me, inbox me on Facebook, Anita Rivers. I would love to see what you guys are coming up with. And again, I just hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you guys have any questions on this project. And again, thank you guys for watching how to hand bead. Bye guys.